Hello.
Hello. Hello. What's going on with astrology? Or you want to talk about astrology? I want to talk about the importance of astrology in health and whatever.
Yeah. Well, I believe astrology to be a very powerful science. I've been studying it for 10 plus years now, and it has translated in so many different areas of my life beautifully. One of them being just the day-to-day. I feel like just by studying the transits of the moon, we can gain insight as to the fluctuations of the collective, wherever they may be. Because emotions are the most readily experienced human attribute. Everybody feels, and the moon is so important in that respect because it's able to give us a glimpse into how everybody is feeling, the collective, right? The collective tides, where are they ebbing and flowing, in what area of life? So from the mundane to, I had a client yesterday. This individual is in his 80s, and he needed guidance as to how to prepare best for his transition. And he's been coming to me for a little over a year now, and I've helped him out in that respect, all the way to financial astrology. Like, you can tell where the global financial markets are going to go, which I have a few predictions that
Okay.
I feel like could be useful for people. You could. I used financial astrology to predict crypto markets when it was in the bull market back in 2020, 2021, and 2022. This was principally when Jupiter and Saturn started transiting Aquarius. And in 2024, we're going to get Pluto in Aquarius, which is a whole nother thing.
Yeah. So I feel some things coming in, and I'm hearing some things about the shifts that are coming next year, 2024. So what are you picking up astrology-wise?
I mean, there's certainly going to be some sort of financial collapse.
Yes.
Of some sort.
Yes.
I think it'll do with the banking crisis. Mm-hmm. So Pluto rules. Some people say Neptune does as well, but Pluto rules oil. When you think of, like, Pluto is like extreme wealth, right? And when you think of oil, like the Middle East, people have oil money and stuff. Those are people who have extreme amounts of money. And obviously there's a lot happening in the Middle East right now, but Pluto, as it reaches 29 degrees Capricorn, it should be very interesting to see what happens to the banking industry. I do believe we will see more bank failures. There is, ever since Pluto entered Capricorn in 2008, we had the 2008 financial meltdown. Mm-hmm. But what's so interesting about Pluto that as I've studied it, because it's also transiting my first house, as it continues, it gets more and more intense.
Oh, yay.
So because the 0 degree of any sign is like the newborn infant, and then the 29 degrees represents like the full maturity, almost like a crisis of some sort. That's why a lot of people face very intense periods of time when they're like 29, about to transition to 30 as well. Anywhere from 28 to 29, these are very significant stages in somebody's life. And we haven't seen anything yet. I think the 2008 financial meltdown was just a glimpse, because Pluto is just accumulating, and mm-hmm. the extremities are becoming more apparent, especially in the sign of Capricorn, which rules big government, big religion, big money as well, big business. So when it gets to that 29th degree in December, I feel like this is when stuff is going to hit the fan.
Yeah. I agree. That's what I've been picking up for years. I'm learning more about astrology, but everything that you're saying is right on point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. We'll see. I mean, I don't think like money is going to go away. It's just going to take a completely brand new form, because Pluto also rules transformation and transmutation. And going from Capricorn, from a very archetypal perspective, Capricorn is the ruler of Saturn, which Saturn in Capricorn is all about basically material lordship, whether it's like materially like your physical body or money, you know, or business. Like you need discipline to be able to climb those heights. But once that happens and you've climbed the heights at 29 degrees, what ends up happening is that crisis begins to happen. That those are critical. 0 degrees and 29 degrees are critical degrees in astrology. They're points of concentration. And at 29 degrees Capricorn, you've become the master. And now you have to transform into the next sign, which is Aquarius. All the signs tell a story and they lead to one another. All of them. It's the hero's journey from 0 degrees Aries to 29 degrees Pisces. And with Capricorn shifting into Aquarius, now you have amassed all this power and wealth and discipline, or maybe the lack thereof. And then what happens next is Aquarius. It's a very humanitarian sign. How can I be of service now to the collective, to the future at large? What are my actions doing? So now you have transcended just this state of material ambition and went into, okay, how can I give more of what I have to other people? In esoteric astrology, the Capricorn is the goat. When the goat becomes enlightened, both horns merge together and turn into the unicorn, which is a very magical animal. And the full realization of Capricorn is that now that I have attained this level of mastery, how can I be of service to other people, and how can I help other people? And how can I take the rest of my group, my community with me to these heights? Because again, Aquarius is the humanitarian. It's the one world that we're all inevitably moving towards when we talk about the age of Aquarius and things of that nature. And it's coming. The full transition is going to be by 2026, as Pluto will officially permanently move out of Capricorn for another 200-something years, and then it's going to form a trine to Uranus that's going to be in Gemini. It's just going to completely revolutionize everything. This whole world is going to change drastically. But before it does, 2024, shit's going to hit the fan. I mean, I'm sorry, I don't want to cuss the first time.
No,
but
you're fine. And like I said, we could always just edit out. But that's what I've been seeing. What I get is a rebuild of everything.
Everything.
Whatever wasn't of service or isn't in alignment with where we are, it's no longer going to be present. And that's what I think is unfolding. Like you said, like it's not that there's not going to be money, there's just going to be a different frequency of that energy, I feel.
Correct.
Including healthcare, independence, really is that job of service for the people. And if it's not, how can we put someone in a position where they're doing that?
Right.
And then that's where I feel like AI and tech is going to fill in those areas. But then it also gives people the opportunity to do other things.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right.
I am?
Yes.
Oh, well, thank you. Because that's what I've been seeing. And I'm like, okay. But then also I'm asking, what do I do? Where am I going? Because I also feel a shift within myself.
Yeah.
It's not who I was even 6 months ago.
Right.
So as the universe is shifting, what are people, do you feel, or what are they experiencing?
There's there's something so fascinating that I feel like people need to understand with when it comes to what people like should be doing. The universe exists in a hierarchy. There are levels and levels, and each level, our obedience to each level is what's known as spiritual law. There are laws that govern life, and all the way from, you know, the most vast galaxies all the way to, you know, the tiniest creature on Earth. The most important teaching I've ever personally received is to trust yourself, to love yourself, to believe in yourself. And with a little added bonus of paying attention, being present, and staying alert. Because at any given moment, the answer is already there. We just have to trust it enough, believe it enough. We are not, the creation is not separate from the creator. And this vast mechanism that is the cosmos is so perfect in every little detail. But for some reason, we think that we're not, you know?
Yeah.
But if the sun was just a little bit closer to the earth than it is right now, life would not exist here. Or a little bit further away from the earth, it would not exist here. And so all the planets, just the entirety of everything is just here to serve. There's a teacher that I really enjoy. His name is Matt Kahn. His mantra is, may I serve everything that serves me. Because ultimately, that's what it is. Like we are the ones who think that we're separate, or we're less than perfect. And the age of Aquarius is truly the realization of our unity in the diversity of life.
Okay. That was like poetry. I'm still processing. Like, wow, that was nice. Well said.
Thank you.
Well said.
Thank
You're
you.
welcome. All right. Well, what else? What else is in there? So it was your birthday.
It was my birthday.
You had cacao.
I had cacao. I'm
What?
officially 30. Let's go. No, I say that because I'm like celebrating so I'm a Capricorn rising. My chart is ruled by Saturn, and Saturn, he doesn't play. Like this is like, I had to grow up very young, very quickly, being an immigrant. You know, my parents, all of us leaving everything behind and coming here and just like figuring it out. And so there was just like a level of maturity that I had to accept young.
Okay.
And from 27 to 29 was, my goodness, it literally felt like an entire lifetime. Entire life, maybe two, okay? And now that I'm 30, as soon as I turned 30, such a big release. Like I felt like my whole entire life just like shifted, where I felt more free within the limits. Because in life, I feel like a lot of people were sold this idea of continuous expansion, which is certainly an archetype in astrology ruled by Jupiter. And expansion is good, but if we overexpand, we overindulge, and there is no limit, there is no form added to what we're expanding into. And Saturn teaches success through limitations, right? The little child wants to play with fire, but the parent is like, no, I know this is like a shiny object to you, but if you touch it, you're gonna get burned. So it's the same thing with Saturn. It's success through limitations, through discipline. And these are ultimately what lead to the gifts that Saturn gives, which are long-lasting. Jupiter's blessings can come and go instantly. You can receive this incredible expansion and you're like, whoa, this is amazing. But if you do not have anything to limit what is coming in and make something out of it, then it kind of goes. You know, it doesn't stick around to materialize or manifest, which is very Saturnian qualities. So yeah, so I feel pretty excited. Yeah, it's been a week, 8 days, right? It's the 28th today, or the 29th, whatever it may be.
I don't know. I have to look at my calendar. Days and numbers.
Days.
I'm just like, I check it, but I honestly don't. I
Yeah.
never know unless I need to know.
Yeah. So it's been like a little over a week.
So it's the 29th today.
29th.
Yeah, Sunday.
Yeah. So it's been, I'm just anchoring in this new, it's not even like a chapter, it feels like a new book.
Yeah.
That is being written, because there's, right now, when you pass your first, when you get through your first Saturn return, which happens when you're 27 to 29, when you get to 30, it's kind of like the zodiac, where the 29th is the critical degree, and then the 0 degree is like the newborn, the fresh start of the next sign.
Okay, so that's why you look like a new person. You walked in and I'm like, oh, who's this guy?
Wow.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, you can feel it. Your energy shifted.
Huge.
Yeah.
Like it's not even comparable. Like,
Not to even say that you were a kid, because you were a young adult when I met you, but you had this youthfulness about you that I saw, and you were fun and just more kid-like.
Yeah.
Now, when you walked in, I was like, who's this man? And even when you're talking and you're speaking, you're very confident and mature, and I see the joy and the love as a kid, but everything else is not kid-like. You're not the man I met before.
Right. Oh my God. I mean, I don't even remember when we met, but
It's probably like I met, I think, in 2018.
yeah.
Yeah.
Lifetimes.
Yeah.
Lifetimes.
So much stuff has happened since then.
So much stuff has happened.
Yeah.
And that's just, I guess that's just life, you know? Especially as like spiritual people, or I should say more so sensitive people.
Okay.
And I know sensitive gets like a bad whatever. Like, I'm not talking sensitive like sensitive to energy, sensitive to the shifts, sensitive to the changes that are happening around us. The journey, and I know you're a Scorpio rising, so like the journey is like just so much more intense and like embodied than, you know, somebody who's not that sensitive.
Yeah.
But I think also in a weird, not even, this is not a negative thing to say, it's just realistic. Saturn. Anyways, life is hard. Like, life can be difficult at some points, like when you have to like shift and grow. It's like, okay, I'm giving you all this. You get used to it. Now it's like the sands shift, and now you have to focus on whatever new wants to come into your life. Very Plutonian. You probably know about that, Scorpio rising.
Every day it's shifting. And you know what I have, like, because there's days where I'm learning this about myself, but I like control.
Yeah, fixed sign.
And right?
Stubborn.
Yeah. So if I'm not feeling okay, I know how to get myself out of that feeling usually.
Good.
I know how to shift it.
Yeah.
But when I'm going through extreme changes and expansion and growth in my life, there's things that are coming up that I can't control. And I really get to learn how to surrender, and I cry. And there's feelings and emotions that come up that I don't personally care for, but they're coming up throughout this process.
Yeah.
So I've been learning a lot about that recently.
You're like a massive transmutative machine.
Yeah, because it's a lot.
Especially no, I mean, especially like you're the Pluto and Scorpio generation.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you're a Scorpio rising.
Yeah.
Now, I forgot your chart, but is the Pluto in your first house or in the 12th?
I don't know.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I don't
Either way, like the work that you're here to do is so much more than just you. Like what you're feeling at times, I feel like especially with Scorpio rising and Pluto in Scorpio, you're feeling the collective purge that's happening. Because Pluto is like collective unconscious as well. And that's just how powerful your energy field is. Yeah.
Yeah. And nothing ever stays the same.
It's beautiful though.
Nothing ever stays the same.
I fucking love that.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, it's fun. It's not ever boring.
That's what I think about too. I'm like, man, like if everything was like, that would suck. Like, yeah, I feel that.
Are you still juicing celery juice?
I'm not. I
Okay.
did the juice for like 8 months. It revolutionized everything. I feel like the gut is so important when it comes to like our work as well. 'Cause that's the seat of the intuition. Very strong intuitive abilities in this area. And, you know, we spend so much time like eating whatever, and it's good to like have those cleanses once in a while. And it absolutely changed everything for me. It was just time for me to move on from it.
Okay.
And yeah.
Yeah.
So I did. It was good.
Yeah, it helped me. You told me about it, and I started
Yeah, I saw
doing
you.
it, and it felt great. And I was like, okay. But then there was a time where I was like, okay, I need to switch it up a little bit.
Yeah, I
But
feel
I
that.
liked it a lot.
Yeah, yeah. And you won't really, like if you do it for a while, like the benefits are like staggeringly clear. Like you're like, whoa. I mean, and like there's physical benefits, but I feel like so much spiritual benefits to it too. Like clears brain fog. It actually has salt minerals that feed the brain in a way. These aren't things that are readily accepted by standard science. This is from the medical medium. He channels something called the spirit of compassion. And the spirit of compassion wants to see the world thrive. And so there's all this useful information that he gives. You know, obviously there's two sides to every coin. So that's just the duality of things. But
I like that metaphor. I haven't heard that in a really long time. Two sides. Oh, so you're performing, doing music? I know you're an artist. What do you do?
Man,
Yeah.
so I create transformational music. That's the essence of it. Transformational experiences as well. And right now I'm in the most beautiful transition in my music career, where I released an album in February 2023. It's called 11. The entire album is inspired by the upcoming age of Aquarius.
Okay.
It literally 11. Yeah, the whole thing was channeled, and it is truly my best work, and I do consider it a masterpiece. And it was so because of many factors beyond my control. You know,
Okay.
It wasn't just me. Like there was just so much happening around that time where I got the blessing of taking 5 weeks to like focus and work on this album with like other creatives. And so that was released, and after that I just chilled. I was like, yo, you know, I would hop in the studio as much as possible here and there. You know, my home studio is basically finished. Like I have everything that I will ever need to create for the rest of the time. And it took me 10 years to get there. Yeah, so right now, stay tuned, because as with this new chapter, this 29th to 30th year, I feel like my apprenticeship in music is over. I started my apprenticeship when I was 18, 19.
Okay.
I started DJing. That's how I started music. And at 29 was when I released 11, and in many ways I consider that my first true album, you know, after 12, 11 years. And now I'm about to start this completely brand new phase in my creative life, in my music life, where the main focus is just going to be the music. You know, previously it was like just, you know, get myself out there, how can I be seen? But now I want to be of service and in service to music, because I believe music is the most powerful form of energy below love. You have love, and then you have music. And it can be used any given number of ways, you know, to expand consciousness, transform consciousness, or stimulate lower forms of consciousness, which is not all bad, you know. It's all part of the spectrum. Shout out to my boy Spectrum. You feel me? He's on the album too, on Lightwork.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, he's
that's right.
He's on Lightwork. And yeah, so it's just like I've learned so much these past 10 years that now it's like, let's just play. Let's just create and see what comes up, because you can, the apprenticeship for me is over. Obviously, I'm never going to stop learning, but it's time to enter a more creative, active phase where all this knowledge that I have gets translated, whether it's spiritual knowledge, astrological knowledge, musical knowledge. Everything is going to be included into whatever is next. And I want it to be fun. Like, I wanted to create some fun as well, because this last album was like this like gateway where I was like, I want to create an album that is not just meaningful and has depth, but is also like fun. Like, people listen to it, they're like, whoa, this is like groovy, you know? So fun is a language we can all speak, hopefully. Some people not so much, but
Yeah, there's an energy though. I went to Ed Sheeran last night.
oh,
and
nice.
The whole stadium is just filled with people, and they're singing and they're dancing, and it's a vibration.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, it's really beautiful.
Yeah. It's such a powerful connecting tool. And the music, there's a concept called the music of the spheres. It was introduced by somebody named Robert Flood. And he basically spoke about the planetary revolutions as the music of the spheres, meaning when, and before I say that, I'll preface it by saying this. I believe life is one great piece of cymatic art. If you've ever seen cymatics, it is how sound effects matter. They put a bunch of sand on a vibrating plate, and they tune it to a specific frequency, and a shape is formed. I believe we are complex versions of that. And the music is actually emanating from the cosmos, from the fixed stars that send their vibrations and their sound and their light to the planetary bodies, the 10 planets, which gets not distorted, but it gets colored in a specific way. You know, the 12 stars and planets, the 12 stars of the zodiac, they literally represent the ascended masters, people who have, or consciousness that is fixed and emanates that light of truth to the earth. And with the planets, which is interesting because the planets are actually what we really work with here on Earth. They're the 7 base metals that we must transmute into spiritual gold. And these planets are filtering this sound further, and we are the final recipients of that. And so there's just one great symphony that is happening with equal amounts of tension and guaranteed moments of release and blessings as well.
Okay, that was good. I cough, I get confirmation. It's the strangest thing. When you're doing energy work or just around people, do you have these little tics or things like confirmations?
Yes. Yeah, it's like a feeling for me. Like it's like, it just feels like crystal clear.
Mm-hmm.
There's like this pureness to it. It's almost like, it's just pure. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Let me see, how are we on time? So we're at 30 minutes. Is there anything else you want to share that you would think people would like to hear, or are you good?
I think what I want to say is about this upcoming year, 2024.
Okay.
Unfortunately, yet fortunately, and the reason why I say that, I do not condone violence or the harm of innocent people, and war, especially being a Libra, you know.
They're all about love and getting along with everybody.
Peace in the Middle East, you feel me? Like, but the uncomfortable truth is, it's gonna get ugly before it gets better. And 2024, I feel like is gonna be this year of just culmination and just a massive transformation of a lot of the old way of things.
Mm-hmm.
And it's going to be uncomfortable because it's going to play out in the world stage. But this is going to make way for after 2025 and onwards. This is going to be much better times for the entire world. And some people feel that they have to take these social injustices and speak about it. And that is definitely one way of contributing to this change. There's a higher perspective that I feel like is important to also understand and grasp, and that is anchoring what you wish to see in the present moment. There's a prayer, I forgot which prayer it was exactly, but one of the lines is, you know, make me an instrument, is praying to deity, to the divine. Make me an instrument of peace. Where there is hatred, let me sow love. And there's all these other dualities that are being synthesized within the prayer. So with that said, this is a year where individuals have tremendous opportunity to synthesize opposites and expand their level of awareness and consciousness. Because in moments of great crisis comes moments of great opportunity for growth. And this whatever is playing out in the entire world stage, this affects everybody, because we will come to know by the end of 2024 how connected we truly all are. When, even though there's something happening on the other side of the world, we all get affected and we all feel it. And it's important that when we do feel it, to synthesize and anchor the opposite of what we are feeling. Yeah. And I guess that's what I want to leave this conversation with, because 2024 is going to set the stage for a brand new world that we are going into. And it's going to be incredible, but there are going to be some things that we will all feel together as one. But this is going to ultimately motivate us and propel the world to make this big shift and move into a completely unified world. And there will be people who will fight against this unification, But this is just a natural part of the evolution that we all have to go towards to expand our consciousness and essentially and ultimately understand and know our divinity.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Very well said.
Thank you. Appreciate you. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome.
God bless.